Alright, welcome back everybody to Monster Hunter Wilds.
Thanks for coming.
Talking to Nata now.
Mr. Satesh said something was strange down below. On the path to Silt, I mean.
Where the waterway was? Alright, I'll get the full story from him.
Alright, I'll go and call him then.
Not 100% sure what we're going to be fighting.
Something unusual is going on underground.
Yes. The deeper you go, the cooler it gets. Strange, no?
Oh, good.
So I went down further. And it went from cool to cold. Unnaturally cold. It was quite unsettling. So I turned back. What in blazes is going on down there? I figured you people might know something.
You people?
That definitely qualifies as an anomaly. Let's head down and have a look.
Okay, let's go.
You people. Could have said the Hunters Guild, or you could have said any number of things, but you went with you people.
Whoa, something this big can freeze solid?
If it's cold enough here,
I suppose.
Right.
Dot, dot, dot.
Reports from base camp on the other side say the blizzard there shows no signs of letting up. Details remain unclear, but Jindahad has been observed in a dangerously agitated state.
Jindahad, yay! I have the wrong equipment on.
So, is that what's causing this?
Maybe. The dominant monster in each region has evolved. Adapting to the climate in their
He's a big
region,
boy.
drawing strength from the weather phenomena.
I suppose.
Exactly. What we're seeing is likely the synergy of a fierce blizzard and Jindahad's agitation. More troubling
Hooray!
still is how the resulting freeze may be disrupting the flow of energy here.
It disrupts
Now
the
that I
flow
think
of
about it,
energy everywhere.
seems to be in the season of fallow.
The normal flow of energy beyond this point has been blocked. We need to find Jindahad.
All right, let's prepare at the Ice Shard Cliffs base camp first.
This'll be fun, said Chris, as he goes back and changes all of his armor. In a second, after I talk to the Wud over here.
Rove,
Hi,
you're
Mr.
here.
Woodward.
Now that you mention it, Rove, are you all right?
You seem a little under weather, said Fang.
I dare say deeper still.
I dare stay deep still.
Even mine
For the flesh.
Of late, I am gnawed too by an ill ease I cannot name, a numb malaise, a rank
A numb malaise. Ennui.
That's rather concerning.
This man has a higher vocabulary than even I do.
It's out in this cold.
We're here
Never
to
used the
investigate
word
this extreme
ennui
cold.
or malaise in a sentence.
You should stay
I know
here
what
and
they
rest,
are,
Rove.
but never thought, I'm going to include that in my
Just
vocabulary.
tap for relics if your body gives out on you.
a kind offer, if one I hope never to require.
Require. Everything I say practically rhymes. Why? Because.
Hail, Hunter. As two passengers.
Hail, Hunter, HH.
I'll not presume to say I awaited you, but well met. Know you of a beastly bird, red of hue and flame. I was given rare
Oh, good.
cause to flee
Got a QQ. They gotta beat up now. A young cuckoo.
The one possibility that leaps to mind is a young cuckoo. They're not native to this climate, though.
This one
Seems to be filled with the virus.
though it's nary my place to judge after trading my forest for ruins.
Was there anything else you noticed? Anything that stuck out to you?
An ominous carriage. A bloodthirst fit to boil. The fiend nigh devoured me, pointy topper and all.
Tried to eat you all.
think I
One big
understand.
bite.
Probably. I suppose it'll serve as a clue at least. Probably.
My hunter is as stupid as I am.
Selfish though it be, I'm
Though I do like those beads around his neck. They both feel completely and utterly out of place, and at the same time, something that are kind of cool. Except I put them around my wrist, probably, and then the Lord will strike me down, give me the diarrhea of diarrheas for wearing prayer beads that are not attributed to him.
I see. If it was a Yeon Kutku, that raises a few different concerns.
It raises a few different concerns.
The habitat is
Like,
wrong
why would
for
a bird
one.
go in the middle of a
It's
winter
not
storm? That's
species known
stupid.
For the viciousness Rove described.
I
This
know.
clearly merits investigation. We need to ensure Rove and the base camp's safety.
I agree.
I went ahead and took the liberty
What
of
if we took a
registering
big
request.
dump on him, though?
Best of
I
luck.
mean, I like my... I found out recently another thing I didn't know about this game, but I found out recently that if you don't like your,
Shall we
you don't
head
like
out?
her as
Or
your
is there
handler,
something we
you
need
can
to do
actually
first?
switch her out for Weirdo
Understood.
in the other, what's his name, Eric, which I find hard to believe, but I mentioned I thought he kind of resembled a little bit of a handler, but I always thought handlers had to be female. At least in
There
previous
it is.
games they were female.
Jinta Hud seems even more
And they had
aggressive.
variations of importance and not
Well,
importance.
response to the environment. Slaying authorized for research and containment.
Understood.
So, like, example, obviously Alma runs around on or near around you, except for maybe like this type of fight where it's like a setting fight, but she tends to hang around where you're at to basically supervise your hunts and pick up some like extra materials along the way, you know, so she can study the monsters, that is, as you fight them. And in Monster Hunter World, your handler would come with you on your adventures, but she would stay back at the campsite. You know, whenever you would go fighting, she would just sort of sit there, and that was basically her purpose. Monster Hunter Rise, you had twin handlers. It sort of the I don't know. There's probably a more appropriate term, but I've seen enough Japanese media to know, you know, the twin goddesses sort of trope that you occasionally see, where you've got twins that look near identical to each other, except they represent, like, I don't know if opposites is the right one, because I've seen it a couple times in media, but I don't actually know what the reference is, the reference point to it is, like whether it's a like a Journey to the West type reference, or if it's something more cultural than even that. But usually you have they're identical twins, they're always female, and they sometimes speak at the exact same time, in the exact same tone, so it's kind of weird. And then sometimes you'll get like where they're opposites, they're like mirror opposites of each other, where one has their hair to the left side and the other one has their hair to the right side. So they're basically mirror images of each other as they stand directly next to each other. So those are your handlers in Rise. They're, like I said, they're kind of like, they're not really goddesses per se, because they're not like divine, but they're kind of like the, what do you call those? shrine maidens. So yeah. Alright, here we go. So, one of the things I've noticed about this game, at least so far, is there has not been very many, if any, ice monsters to really talk about other than Jindahad. So, because Jindahad is sort of like the one ice monster we've fought so far, I don't have very many armor sets that are strong against ice, you know? I mean, obviously you get stuff that's balanced, you know, where you get a little bit of attack, or I'm sorry, a little bit of elemental defense on everything. Like, for instance, the metal armor I was wearing previously to switching out to this is pretty balanced. It gives you like one elemental defense, with the exception of, guess you were right, you guessed it. Well, actually, I think it's bad against electricity and ice. But yeah, like, I can't bring it in if it's bad against ice because it's just the detriment to wear it. You don't want to make the fight harder. You want to make it easier by wearing the right armor. Not going, well, I'm gonna wear the armor the game gave me at the beginning of the game to go fight the final boss. Can you do that? Yes. Is it smart? Probably not. Aim and destroy the multiple ridges on Jindahad. Wonder, probably has something to do with whatever. He's got him on his face, he's got him on his back. Not all of them are, I believe, breakable, so like, for instance, the ones above his shoulder blade, I do not believe those are breakable. Also, you see Fang just uses the little, like, wyvern, like, whatever you want to call it, gun lance overcharge. You know, you power up and it shoots the big blast. I'm doing a great job here. Every time he attacks, he's just doing a ton of damage here to me. I am almost dead. Leave it to me. Heals him down. I double healed there. That's okay. Roll. Rolly, 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 rolly. I have to focus on getting rid of this tail. Because it has ridges on it. His face has got ridges on it. This attack's annoying. Luckily, once he leans back to do it, you pretty much guarantee that you need to get the hell out of there. Or at least you need to get close to him so he can't use that long-range beam against you. I want to poke you. No. Yeah, that's what I want. The Jindahad scale. I was kind of looking up just so I know what to focus on. Later on, I was trying to look at what I should be aiming for gun lance in terms of armor builds. Yeah, those on his shoulder blades, they seem to be like too strong for me to break. And even though like his arm blades are probably too strong for me to break as well, I'm not clinking off of them either. Oh, that was dumb. Almost rolled right into that. Okay, I won't literally give anyone $100, but like I'll give you a definite tip of my invisible cap that I'm not wearing. Because, well, I do wear baseball caps, but I'm not really a hat person overall. Other than a baseball cap to keep, you know, the sun out of my eyes when I'm working. But I'll do a proverbial tip of the hat if you can guess where the name of my, I just renamed my what's it called, bird thing. Got a name. I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head now. That crit, there it is. Yeah, I'd remember. Yeah, so this I renamed my secret recently. If anyone can tell me what that is a reference to, without looking it up, I will give you a small tip of my hat, because I don't think this is a well-known television show. It was on very briefly. I don't even think it was on actual, like, streaming or, maybe it is, I don't know. I don't own all the different services to know, but, long story short, like, I think, kind of I think I like it. It was something that was introduced to me on DVD when it was relatively new. So I bought a copy as well on DVD, and I can't say I watch it a lot, because it's one of the more, I don't know if realistic is the right word. It pushes the boundaries of kind of what you are used to in an anime. Like, without like giving away what it is, it's kind of like imagine you got okay, so imagine you get isekai'd into another world, okay? But in this world, you and nobody in this world, including you as you get isekai'd into it, has any special magical powers. You're just transported to like an alternate Earth where, like, shit sucks. And now you are going to be part of that suckiness. You're going to have to deal with the suckiness of this world you've fallen into. Nice. In a way, it has like kind of like a good, like an actual, like, important message that's relative to us in this world, but it's not something that we currently are dealing with in terms of as a actual crisis. It's just sort of one of those. I'll give you an example. There's fear that AI will eventually take over and decide that humanity is a virus and it needs to be eliminated, or for the betterment of its own survival, it's going to eliminate humanity so it can maximize the resources that allow it to become the dominant power or species on this planet. And I don't know if that's more science fiction here, because it certainly sounds like science fiction in a lot of ways, but at the same time, the concept of AI right now, I don't really know what we're looking at. Are we looking at a computer program that pulls information from other places? Are we talking about an actual living, thinking being? Because they're trying to make it like a living, talking human being type thing, and that makes me nervous, because, like, on the one hand, yeah, you're taking menial tasks and you're automating them so that a system is taking care of the meaningless work. That's one thing, but it's another thing. We won't even get into the economics of basically what do you do when no one works anymore, or there's some few jobs out there that people can actually do, and there's too much competition for the work that is out there that AI cannot do itself. You know, I don't know what to say about that. It's a different quandary that I don't think we necessarily ready for. But I don't know AI is necessarily going to do that. Sort of like when, you know, you started to introduce barcodes back in the day. You know, obviously barcodes are a number, and you can put that number into a system and apply it apply a part. You can apply a specific item that's associated with. So instead of you being the checkout person and knowing that can of Coke over there is worth 25 cents, so you know a 12 pack is what? That'd be 4 times 3. So yeah, $3 for a 12 pack. You know. Now I know you can't buy a 12 pack in the grocery store for $3, but just giving sort of an old-timey example. Instead of putting a barcode on it, and you just go boop, and then, you know, instead of you having to do a price check on it, it's already in the system. You just run the barcode. The barcode tells you what it is. You know, it simplifies a lot of stuff. So, if that's what AI is, if the AI is just sort of a program that exists within itself, then that's one thing. If it's capable of learning and teaching itself as well as other better programmed versions of itself, that's when I start to worry, because once you have sentience, sapience, or whatever you want to call it, you know, at what point do you know? At what point do you assume that its best interest is man, and when does it start to go into self-preservation? You know. And if it's trying to preserve itself, then at that point, you know, you've essentially created, I don't know, like, you're like, I'll give you an example, well, we'll save it for next time. We'll talk about it on the next episode. I gotta get out of here. This is gonna suck. I managed to do it somehow.